welcome back to my YouTube channel, Auburn to Nursing. So this video is going to be about my CCMA experience thus far, and it's going to also be about the program, a little bit about the exam. I'll go deeper in a separate video, but also about the externship too. So just those three things, but then I'll make videos going deeper into them. So I went back to school for my CCMA this year in February, and I was finished with the program by May. So I was able to attend this program remote, and that's why they have the externship option where you are able to pretty much get your clinical skills. And so you really have to gauge, I would say, what kind of person you are before you sign up for a program like that. For me, I'm fine with studying independently. I'm fine with reading and grasping information on my own. As long as someone pretty much just gives me like the syllabi and I'm able to just, use that for myself and just study on my own. I'm good at doing that, studying on my own. I could study pretty much, and I'm pretty much adaptable. I could study in other environments too, but I'm fine if I have to study on my own. Like, I can make it and grasp the information. And so that's why I really like this program, because it was go at your own pace, and I was able to do that and be pregnant and be at home. And so that's what I did. I pretty much just went through the whole program and read all of the, theory, had all my notes. They have really, really good notes. So they have really, really good notes for if, for when you're studying for the actual exam. Everything that was in my notes was on the exam, and I was able to pass. And then also, as it pertains to the actual program, it was broken down into different sections. So a bulk of it was the actual CCMA, but then it had other categories too, phlebotomist, and then phlebotomy, and then EKG. Cool thing too, so other than having your CCMA or testing for that, they will also pay for you to test for the CPT, which is Certified Phlebotomy Tech, and CET, which is Certified EKG Tech. And so that opens up more opportunities for you to do that, so that let's say if somebody wanted a phlebotomy tech but not necessarily a CCMA, then you still have an opportunity. So it's best to sit for all of the boards. So moving on, I was able to pretty much just fly through the program within 3 months, because I was like, I'm going to get this over and done with so I could take my exam before I deliver. And so that's what I did. And I did my externship afterwards. So after I healed up and everything, then I went to do that, and I just finished that. And there was an opportunity for retention and in the beginning. And a lot of times with externships, they really want to retain because they've trained you. They've trained you in their facility. They've trained you with their system. They've trained you with their materials and everything. And so you have a routine going. And so because you have that routine and you have that rapport, a lot of times they want to keep you. And that was the case here, but it ended up falling through due to some restructuring that they were going through. And so they placed a hiring freeze. And so, it was pretty much frozen until the beginning of the year. Or at least that's what it was communicated to me. And, I did see some things and I did hear some things. And so, I do feel like personally it was for the best as well. It's for the best because of my personal expectations and standards, honestly. I know a lot of times we often hear about our employers having those expectations and standards, but employees do too. And, I know if something doesn't meet up, then it's not good for me health-wise to lower my standards and be there, because that means I personally feel like, due to my experience, I'm setting myself up to, you know, I'm setting myself up in a negative way. So I do feel like it was for the best that, you know, there was a freeze, and that I didn't, even if there wasn't a freeze, I think it would have been in my best interest to not move forward. But that was just because of the environment that I was in, that I recognized pretty much from the beginning. And so, yeah, I'm not into that kind of environment. And so, yes, those who are completing their externship or who are going to complete theirs soon, most have that opportunity. And, you know, you'll get your skills, you'll learn a lot, and, you know, you'll make your decision if you would like to stay, if it's being offered to you. So, now a little bit about the exam. The exam was not so difficult. It was exactly everything that was in my school notes. Also, I studied with a CCMA teacher. She's widely known. Everyone pretty much passed her information around, I see. Her name is Miss K, and I'll leave a link in the description box to her YouTube channel. And so she will go over the exam with you and pretty much help you to understand what what to expect on the exam, as well as like how to test for this exam. So that's a big part of exams, not just knowing the information, but knowing like how to test, because sometimes more than one answer may appear to be correct, but technically only one is correct, especially within like the healthcare industry. That's part of the course for exams, where it appears that, okay, more than one scenario may be okay, but one is better than the other. So you have to choose the one that's better than the other in order to get credit. And so that was definitely the case in the in nursing school when I was enrolled. But so that was the tone for the CCMA exam, just figuring out which one was the most correct and making sure that I choose that one. Also, another thing is that the exam, I think it had like 150 questions or 180 questions. It's one of the two, but I think like 30 of them were what they call like pre-assessment questions. And so those are mixed in throughout the whole exam, and with those kind of questions, you don't receive credit. So, you really want to try to make sure that you answer every question correct that you can. And I did pretty well. I scored above average. I think so anyway, kind of like midpoint, above average. So the minimum score is 399 and the maximum is 500. And so I scored a 424. So I did pretty good. And I only studied for the exam for like a week. Like, I just came out of the program and I was like, I need to take this exam right away. And so I took the exam right away, and I studied like a mad woman, because that's what I do. I studied like exactly how, with my same routine that I studied in nursing school. And so got that down, passed the exam, got my certification the first time, because I don't like to retake exams if I can help it. Unless I really need to, but to fail and have to retake, I really don't want to do that. And so, yes, so that was the case for that. And it's the same thing for the CPT and the CET. That it's the same kind of routine where you have certain questions that don't count. You don't earn any credit, but it's still there, and you don't know which ones that you won't get any credit for. So you just have to answer all the questions to the best of your ability. So that pretty much sums up that program. It was through, I believe I said the name, I can't recall, but it was through Auburn University, and it was completely remote. And you know, it's great for sure if you're like a person like me who already has experience, but you're just kind of like want to transition to something else. You know, that's a good kind of program to do. Say, okay, you know, you're already, yeah, you know, you already know how to do mostly everything. You may just need a refresher, but because that's what it was for me. I knew how to do a lot of the work, like minus a few things, but I knew how to do a lot of the work already, so I was able to pick it up pretty quickly. And just the minor things that I didn't know, you know, I had to kind of go over that, of course, within the externship. But overall, I knew how to catch on because I've been working in the industry for a while. So if that's you, then doing a program like this where you're remote and you have your externship for a few weeks, that's good for you. But if you're a person who is new to the industry, you don't have any healthcare experience, this may not necessarily be for you. It depends. You have to gauge yourself and know what is best. So that concludes this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel for more.